How's it going, folks? So I got a little bit of a story to share with you guys, and some photos and pictures and footage and whatnot to come after. So it was one of those nights I couldn't sleep. Right, I was up at 3:30 in the morning. I get up, get back in bed, get up. Kind of debating on whether or not I should just get going and go do something or roll back over and fall asleep. So about 7:30 rolls around. I go walk the dog and I get all ready and I start reading the fishing reports, and I'm saying to myself, it's about time. It's been about a week or so since I went out fishing, and I had some frozen anchovies up in the freezer. So I grabbed all that stuff, and once you get going, you start reading the reports, maybe watch a YouTube video or whatnot. You get amped, you get hyped up to go. So I'm all ready to go. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I just hop in the truck and I just go. I make sure I have my poles, my bait, and that's about it. So I'm going, and I'm just driving, trying to decide on where I'm gonna go. And I ended up over at the Delta Mendota Canal for a little bit, and that place has just been real dead lately. And I said to myself, you know what? You barely ever fish the aqueduct. Why don't you go down to the aqueduct, right? So I go all the way down this one street, and probably about a good half hour later, I arrive at the duct, and I notice that the gates are closed. Oh, great. Well, whatever. I brought bait anyways. I was up early. It's just going to be easy day fishing, whether I caught something or not. You get to get out, enjoy the fresh air, right? So another fisherman comes by, and he's throwing out a nice rattle trap, and about 5 minutes in, he pulls out a 21-inch striper, and all right. So the fish are biting, right? So he ends up leaving right after that because, the bite's been kind of off lately. As soon as he gets back into his car, I'm sitting there going through my messages on my phone and answering emails and whatnot. And there's a little tap on my pole, little tap, tap. And I look at it, when you're looking at the tip of your pole, waiting for it to just go crazy. And this thing just starts screaming line out, and reminds me of, when you catch a big striper, something over 30 inches and it just runs and runs and runs. It was something akin to that. So it starts pulling out line. I switch off my bait runner. I got a Shimano bait runner. Switch it off, set the hook, and this thing is still pulling line out. There's a wicked bend in the pool. I'm sitting there fighting it for, I'd say about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And as soon as I get it up to the surface, it's still about 15 feet away from me, in the water. And I can see how big it is. And I knew right off the bat I wasn't going to be able to pull that up the bank. I didn't want to snap the line or have it shake off or whatever. So I immediately started emptying my pockets, keys, wallet, phone, anything else that was in there, because in the end, I'm going to get this fish. It's been a while since you had a good bite. I'm going to make sure that I get this fish. So I walk it all the way down, probably about 50 feet to the ladders. Those of you familiar with the aqueduct and canals around this area, there's ladders. And I walk it all the way down there. It's fighting me, running. It's starting to get tired though, giving up. So I get to the ladders, take off my shoes, make sure I'm fully prepared at this point to go head first into the water, bear hug this catfish, right? It's coming home with me. It's dinner, So I get it all to the water, and it does a tail flap at me, right? It kind of smacks my hand as I'm going for its jaw. And one thing led to another. I managed to grab it, pull it up, and it was a decent sized catfish. Typically you get in between 5, 6, 7 pounds. Anything other than that around here is considered large, So I was quite happy, pulled it up, packed up my gear. By this time, the other guy who had caught that striper had already driven off. He had a scale on him, and I was pretty interested to see how much it weighed. So I went out of my way again to go find another set of fishermen, and luckily these two did have a scale, and we weighed it up. And I'll go ahead and roll the footage, and you guys can see right after the fact, because you're never planning this, especially when you wake up so early. You just kind of planning on sitting there, right, all day until you get tired, and then you go home. So I didn't have anything set up. After I pulled it up, brought it back, I went ahead and filmed a little bit of it, and you'll see it now, and then I'll throw in a couple pictures of it at the end. So just want to share that with you guys. That's what happened this morning. Pretty cool, gets you amped to go out and go do some fishing again. So here it is. What's up, folks? I'm over here at the California Aqueduct. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Gates are closed. Nothing was coming on the striper bite. But look at this hog. Just pulled him off of anchovies. Good gracious almighty. Here, let's turn this a little bit. Man, this thing is a hog. The mouth on this. Nice. Big old belly. See, the first thing I did, took my wallet and keys out of my pocket. Had to throw down my sunglasses as soon as I saw it. Brought it over to the ladder to bring it up. Man.